Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. So it's been a while since I've made a video, but we're in review mode, and so my goal here is to try every night. I'm going to try to make you at least one video for micro, one video for macro on some topic that's probably going to show up on the test. So tonight I decided for macro we're going to look at GDP because this is a problem that's come up before. So I'm going to break this into a couple shorter videos hopefully so that I don't get super long-winded and you feel like you're not listening to me for hours on end here. And so I have three products here, and I have 1, 2, 3 years. I have nunchucks, machetes, and hula hoops here in the country that I have made up. And they make these three things. They only make these three things. Quite a country indeed. But I'm going to ignore the nunchucks and the machetes and just talk about the hula hoops here for a second. Because it's easier to illustrate how we're going to do GDP calculations with just one product before we integrate or introduce these guys over here. So let's just worry about the hula hoops. So I have the quantities and the prices for each year, 1, 2, 3. And the thing that's going to happen on the AP test is they're going to ask you to calculate nominal GDP and real GDP. And the big difference between the two is that nominal GDP is measured in what we call current prices, whereas real GDP is measured in constant prices. So one is more reliable than the other. So if some of you, this should sound like review because this is how I start this thing in class. If you look, GDP is supposed to measure how much we produce. What do you notice about the hula hoop production for each year 1, 2, 3 here? It stays the same. And if GDP is supposed to be a measure of how much we produce, we would expect GDP to stay the same here. So what we're going to do, we're going to check out nominal GDP and real GDP with just our hula hoops here. So nominal GDP, we care about the current price. So in year 1, the current price of a hula hoop is $1. So all you got to do is do 1 times 1, and that gets you $1. 1 times 3 equals $3, and 1 times 9 gets you 9. So we're just worrying about the hula hoops here. We're ignoring everything else. So there are your nominal GDPs. Okay? Now I wish I had a little more room here because I'm going to have to do the real GDPs down below. For real GDP, you're going to get constant prices. So they're going to have to give you a base year. The base year will tell you what price to use. So if I say that the base year is year 3, that means we're going to use year 3's price. And it's a good idea to help yourself out. Put a little box around it. So it's going to be $9. And this is going to be the price every year. So some people might want to even do it like this. You cross out the 3, you put 9. Cross out the 1, put 9. So every year you're now going to go up here. 1 times 9 equals 9. 1 times 9 equals 9. 1 times 9 equals 9. Huh. It's 9 in every year. And if you think about it, well, you're supposed to be measuring how much we produce. And we produce the same amount. So really GDP should stay the same. And in fact, the real GDP does. The nominal GDP allows, you can't really tell if it's going up because of the production increasing or because the price increases. So this is just a brief intro and a refresher for you on nominal and real GDP. In just a second, I'm going to introduce everything here. I haven't figured these out yet, so it should be as much fun for me as it is for you. All right?